I saw this video the other day and I thought it was so funny because I related to it so much. There was a woman and she was out with her friends and she was like, someone better hit on me tonight. I'm sick of this. And I was like, ma'am, I feel you so much. Because I never get hit on in person. Like, I get a lot of messages online and stuff, and I'm single, so I'm on dating apps, but just like at the grocery store, men don't just come over and say hi, like, how are you doing? They don't do that anymore. And so when I do meet men, and I ask them, I tell them, like, I don't usually get hit on in person. Would you, if you saw me at the store or wherever, would you come talk to me? And sometimes they say yes, but a lot of times they say no. And it's usually for one of two reasons. The first reason is because they assume I'm not single, which, like, sir, I'm walking around here with a ring-free hand. Like, why are you over there assuming things? But the second reason is because they said that women find it too aggressive and they don't like it. And I'm like, who are these women?
It's a lot of women, and that's the thing. I think some women don't see that because either, they don't feel like that or they don't think like that, but there are a lot of women who make it known that they don't want to be approached by a man. And it makes it hard for men to gauge whether it's okay to approach you or not. Because listen, just like women don't like women don't want to be rejected, men don't like that. Think about it. Every time you try to approach somebody, it's a rejection, or they looking at you crazy like you a creep and all of these things. So men are skeptical about approaching women because of the responses. And I think, once again, it shouldn't be all about just the rejection, but it's the way that you do it. I think a lot of women are very mean when it comes to these things because they don't think that certain men should be even approaching them. And I think it makes it harder for men, even if they saw an attractive woman, they may not approach because they don't know if you want to be bothered. They don't want to come off as a creep. I think a lot of times, and this may not be her situation in this video, but a lot of women don't see themselves. You don't see how you come across and how you act when a man is approaching you that you are not attracted to. That is not a good feeling for anybody to be rejected in that way. To me, it could easily be as simple as, thank you so much for approaching. You know what? I'm not interested, or I'm seeing someone or whatever. It's the way you go about it. But there are a lot of women who take this nasty approach to a man approaching them, and then and that's why, and men are just like, nah, they don't even want to take the chance because a lot of these women are very unapproachable. And then some of them go off and they make videos about telling men leave them alone, don't approach them. And so this is why men are doing it. Now, all women aren't that way, but how do they supposed to know who they can approach and who they shouldn't? So now they're just not doing it at all. Let's continue.
The single women, they appreciate it when a man is respectful and they come over and say, hi, you look nice or whatever. Because if we're out and we're dressed up, we look nice because we made an effort. And we appreciate it when men, or hell, even women, a fellow female comes and tells you look nice. So I'm trying to encourage you because I feel like men are scared of rejection. But let me tell you, the world is full of rejection. And I will say that most women, they're not going to growl at you for telling them that they look nice or saying hi. I'm not saying none of them will, but let's be honest. If you say hi, you look nice to a woman, she growls at you, she did you a favor by showing you the crazy up front. Because that could be 6 months down the line and then you see that crazy monster. I mean, she could just be having a bad day, but if she's going to be rude about you telling her she looks nice, she's probably not a nice person. So just leave that one be. But for the rest of us, we appreciate a respectful man coming over and saying hi. And if we show signs of not being interested, no sweat off your nose. Keep it moving. It's not that serious. But on the other hand, you guys could really connect and be on a date next week. So I say all that to say this. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you see that beautiful woman, go take your shot. Go take it. She's over there waiting for you to tell her how beautiful she looks tonight, okay? Go forth, be bold, and flirt.
There's no reason why someone that's 45 is trying to talk to you. You're young.
I'm not gonna hold y'all. Controversial take. I think women only have these opinions now because women have focused more on the careers, education, and being independent. They're older in age, and now they're pushing these agenda more only because they're now at an age to settle down now, where they're in their 30s. So,
but pushing what is
women?
what's the agenda?
You guys are all against these men dating younger women because it takes options away from you guys. Guys, your age now.
Listen, that's absolutely what it is. They are in denial. You know that you have a problem with that because the men aren't going after the younger women, and that leaves you hanging. But because when these women were young, they didn't have this problem. When you were in your 20s and you were fine and had your shape and all of that, you was not worried. You wasn't complaining about, oh, these older men are approaching me. No, y'all was loving it. But now that you're the older woman, and these men are not checking for you, they're still doing what they've been doing. They're doing the same things they were doing back then. It's just now you're not the younger catch anymore. You're the older broad, and they're still going after the younger girls. It's always been a thing. But because now you are in a position to where you played around and you played too many games and did a bit too much in your younger years, and now you're older and you're still single, you're feeling some type of way because these men are still going after younger women like they always have. You're just the older broad now and they're not checking for you. That's just exactly what it is. And you shouldn't be mad about it. Just accept what it is. This is why I tell women, prioritize relationships and marriage when you're in your 20s. Stop thinking that you have this infinite amount of time to find your person and build a life, because when you get older, you're not going to have all of these options. These men are still going after these younger, more attractive women because they want to build families. If you play around in your 20s and do what your mothers and your grandmothers told you to do, you're going to end up in your 30s, 40s, 50s by yourself, because the older you get, whether you like it or not, whether you want to accept that or not, is more of a chance that you may not be able to find the person that you want to be with. When you're young and you're hot and you're most attractive, that's when you better, if you got all these options, you better pick one of them, pick the best one, but pick one, go with him. Y'all build a life. Stop thinking that you got all these infinite amount of options and you just waiting because you might find a better one later on. No, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to find a better one later on. You're going to end up by your lonesome. And this is what women are realizing. And this is the okie doke I think a lot of our mothers and our grandmothers set us up for. A lot of them, they set us up. Go to school, get your education. Don't depend on the man. Have fun in your 20s. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to be tied down. It's not about being tied down. You can still go to school. You can still get an education, and while dating and finding a person that will be good for you, and y'all get married and build a life. Every other culture, race of people have done it. They do that because that's how they're taught. But only in the Black community, we're taught we don't need our men and we can do it all by ourselves. But eventually, you're going to want somebody. Most people going to want somebody. But then it's going to be difficult for you to find the person that you want, because now you're educated, you're established, and you're looking for something that may not exist, because the person that you're looking for now, he's looking for something else. But if you start when you're younger and y'all build that together, now y'all are on equal playing fields because y'all work together, y'all build something together, y'all build a life together, and boom, you have your person. But when you just trying to get serious about relationships in your 30s and after college, and once you've got your career together, it's going to be very difficult for you to find your person and the person that you want. This is why you see a bunch of educated women who are single, because the men that are left does not measure up to their expectations. So now they end up by themselves. Just saying. Let's continue.
Doing more for a woman doesn't automatically make her value you more. In fact, it can actually diminish your value in her eyes. And here's why. A lot of you believe if I give her more time, more attention, more effort, she will finally see my worth. You think if I move her in, she'll be all in. If I marry her, she'll stop testing me. But that's not how it works.
You know what? She has a really great point. I think she's spot on with that. And I think this is something that some men didn't realize or didn't recognize. And I think initially, the intention for a lot of men is, hey, if I'm interested in this woman, I want to do things for her. And I want to, do what I can to show her that I care and, cater to her or do things like this. And these are the men that, nowadays they end up calling simps. But I wouldn't necessarily call them simps, because I think it's a natural thing for men that if they care for you, if they try to get to know you, if they like you, especially back in the day, that they will be willing to do things for you and cater to the woman if they're interested. And women, they don't see that the same as men do. And especially if they're not really attracted to you. If the woman is not really attracted to you, you can walk through water for her. You could walk on water. You could do everything you want. It does not matter. She's going to take everything that you've given to her, and she's still going to treat you funny. And she's not going to want to really be with you if she's not really fully into you. So this is why they call men like that simps, because when you realize that this woman is really not into you, she really don't care for you like that, and she's not, sexually attracted to you or anything, and you keep trying to push the issue and trying to do more and more and more for her to try to almost like convince her that you're a good guy and she should be with you. And it usually does not work. You just end up getting finessed and used, because she'll take everything that you're giving her and she's going to move to the next person. And if anything, she's going to look at you and think you're crazy, because she's not going to respect that you're doing that, because even in her mind, she knows that you shouldn't be doing that. And then I think what happens is a lot of these women, they've experienced that from a man they didn't like, and they move on to the next guy, and then they want the same treatment from every other man that they come in contact with. So those men set the stage for how these women look for other men to treat them, when every man is not the same. Every man is not going out his way for a woman. A lot of these men will do the bare minimum, because when they can do the bare minimum and these women still want their attention and time and want to be with them and give them their body and all that other stuff, it's because they're more interested in the guy that he is into them. So usually those men don't have to jump through hoops for these women. They could do the bare minimum. These women will give them what they want. So when you find yourself in a situation where you're courting a woman or dating a woman and you are jumping through hoops, and she's not interested in you sexually, she's not interested in knowing you at all, she don't want really nothing to do with you really, she'll spend a little time just to get what she wants, and once she get what she wants, she goes you, and she don't want to have no time with you at all. That's because she's really not that into you. And keep buying her things and catering to her is not going to change her mind. She's going to take what you got until she's tired. And then if you decide you don't want to do it anymore, she's going to move on to the next. She never really cared about you in the first place. Let's continue.
So now you're doing more, and she's coasting while you're proving. And here's the part most men never see coming. The more you pour into her without balance, is the more she's going to focus on herself.
I just held the door open for a man, and a woman comes in after him, and she goes, I know you didn't just hold that door open for that man. And I was like, what? As I'm holding the door open for her, I'm like, I'm holding the door open for you too. And then she was like, it's better to just slam the door in these men's faces so they don't act soft like they be doing. I was like, please don't put me in your bitterness today. Like, today is not my day. Like, please go find something safe to do. And then she was like, oh, that was rude. And what you were doing wasn't rude. I held the door open for him because he had mad stuff in his hands. So, I'm just trying to be a good person. And then you're over here like, oh, why you hold the door open for him? Men gonna be soft. Just because your man was soft with you and you didn't like it doesn't mean me holding the door open for this man means I'm gonna make him soft.
Yeah, these women there is nothing wrong. I've done it before myself. I've been somewhere and maybe the post office or something, and it could be anybody coming through the door. I'll hold the door. It's just it's manners. It's just being a decent person. Like, some people are just so mad and bitter and would suggest things like that. Oh, don't do anything for a man. They don't want to do anything for a man, but they require a man to do everything for them. This is why I'm saying, this is why these men don't want to deal with these ratchet, just evil, mean, bitter women. And then when they can't get a man or nobody want to deal with them, they want other women to act nasty toward men and make up an excuse as to why that is acceptable behavior. No, you're just a nasty, bitter person, and you want everybody to join your bonnet crew society club and be nasty and treat men horrible as well. And that's not the nature of all women. But they want you to be miserable with them. They want you to sit with them with their bonnets on and sing kumbaya and bash men all day, and then be hella pissed when a man has something to say about that behavior, or when anybody has something to say about that behavior. Oh, they don't like that. So you're just going to be mean and bitter to the end. You might want to change that type of mentality, because being mean and bitter ages you. It makes you look bad. It doesn't really benefit you to be that way. So this video compilation was very interesting, but it just shows you the nature of a lot of women, and it just shows you why a lot of these women will continue to be by themselves, because they have issues and they don't know how to resolve them. And once they've gotten to a bitter, nasty place in life, they don't know what to do with themselves. When they've cornered themselves or put themselves in a corner and nobody wants to deal with them, they become frustrated and mad because men won't approach them. Men are not trying to date them. And the minute they meet a guy and he realized the type of attitude that they have, and he don't want to be bothered with them, the more they become even more bitter. When you start, spewing all of the things that you want and your expectations for a man, these men are calculating in their minds, oh no, I'm not gonna see her again. Oh hell no. Oh no, I'm gonna finish this date, and then that's a wrap. They're already making their minds up about you, that they don't want to deal with you. And then these women keep constantly wondering why they keep going on dates and why the men keep ghosting them and why the men don't want to deal with them, because it's your attitude. You suck in most cases. You got to find some peace within yourself, and then maybe you won't be mad at men and hating men because you can't get your desired outcome. So baby, this is why I say women need to do the most changes. I don't think they're the only ones that need to make changes, but they definitely have to do some. But if you leave it to them, they don't think they need to do anything to change or better their circumstances. They just think it's all the men, and I don't think that that's true. So listen, y'all, let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new content or go live. Chime in the comments. I want to hear what you have to say, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye.